Great day once again to all of you. In the previous session, I presented in broad strokes the 4 steps on how we could make our way towards a new momentum. Beginning from this session, I would like to develop on what I presented the last time. The first of which is about revisiting our dreams. August 23, 2020, very, very recently. This article came out of several online news sites. It says the task force of COVID here in the Philippines seeks church help on alarming suicide rate. Now, this is the most recent sad news and very near our own home here in the Philippines. It is very alarming and way too serious to ignore. Now, we may ask, how can people bounce back from this? How can they move out of hopelessness to survival, and from survival to working on a new momentum? As I said in the last episode of this series, the process of rising above our circumstances begins with our dreams, because dreams motivate us. They empower us. Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist Viktor Emil Frankl says, those who have a why to live can bear with almost any how. We might have lost the means to live at this time, but with our dreams, which correspond to our why, we will have the will to live and make it through this crisis. Wait a minute. I feel the need to bring this up because one day I heard someone say this. Is it right to talk about dreams these days when the majority of people find it difficult even just to survive? Now, let me respond to this comment by saying this summary statement of what I am going to say further on. Listen carefully. Only those who still have a sense of purpose, those who have dreams, those who want to do something more in the future, like a mission, can survive this crisis. They could even thrive while at it. You see, preventing or discouraging people from talking about their dreams these days is like taking away from them the very thing that could help them pull themselves together and propel them to action. Remember the words of Helen Keller when she was asked one time, what would be worse than being born blind? To which she quickly replied, to have sight and no vision. You see, dreams like purpose is our why we are here. Purpose and dreams ignite our spirit to do something. They provide meaning and deep satisfaction in our lives. Dreams fuel our efforts and give us the drive to continue no matter what the challenges. They give us a sense of mission. This is what Viktor Frankl learned from his experience of the Holocaust, as mentioned by Joel Barker in his teaching on the power of vision. Barker noted that in Frank's book, Man's Search for Meaning, Frankl observed that among those who survived the Holocaust, there was a common thread. They had this trait that is essential to survival. What was it? All those who made it through the Holocaust had something significant yet to do in the future. It was their vision of the future that helped them overcome seemingly insurmountable odds. Now, Frankl tells this story of 2 men who were going to commit suicide. It is actually very common during those times. The men's lives were saved by their friends by reminding them of their future. They helped the one remember his child from whom he adored so much and was waiting for him in another country. For the other, who was a scientist, his friends reminded him of the series of scientific books that he still needed to finish. Both men were empowered to continue on and survived. Powerful. Dreams are powerful. So, yes, if you want to work on a new momentum, I encourage you to revisit your dreams. But how? Now, here are a few practical tips. Number one, place a picture of your family in front of you. Weak move, someone might say. Well, ask those soldiers who are deployed on faraway battlefield and have been in constant danger from attacks. Guns and bomb attacks, but more than that, the attacks of loneliness and depression. Isn't it the thought of their family that gives them the drive to make it through? It's the thought of his family too, why a father keeps his shoulder to the wheel, as it were. It's the dream of a better life for them that brings out from him both creativity and endurance. It's also for the family why a mother finds multitasking not just bearable, but fun. To add to that, as far as I know, it's almost every student's dream to help their family. It's one of the reasons why they want to do good at school. It's also true that young adults who had to choose between doing university or landing a job so she could help her family. Not many of those I know choose university if they are unable to do both. They choose to help their family. This is how powerful a motivator dreams for one's family are. So again, place a picture of your family in front of you and think of your dreams for them. This is the second tip. Look back at your written or illustrated goals. John Maxwell noted in one of his books a research showing approximately 95% of all of us have never written out our goals in life. But of the 5 who have written theirs, 95% of them have achieved their goals. He kept on saying that in the 1950s, the graduating class of Yale University was surveyed, and one of the questions asked was this: do you have written goals? Only 3% of the class responded yes. 20 years later, another survey of those same class members was taken. The 3% who had said they had written goals were out earning the other 97% of the class combined. That's how powerful written goals are. Maybe many of you, just like me, would recall the personal mission statement endorsed by Stephen Covey. This mission statement talks about the purpose one sees for his life. It includes not just his aims for himself, but also those that would make an impact in the community. And we were, of course, encouraged to write this PMS, or personal mission statement. I remember reading one purpose statement or mission statement that goes this way: my purpose in life is to support individuals with physical challenges to develop their independence. I like that. When my wife and I sat down together and planned for the opening of our school 20 years ago, helping the community was foremost in our mind. We wanted to give the children an opportunity for good education as well as employment for teachers, which was much needed in the community back then when there were not much opportunity to earn a living. 20 years of ups and downs, but seeing the result now, just how we envisioned it 20 years back, we could say that our joy today is indescribable. This is now what actually fuels us to do more. We are actually now working on another project for the benefit of another community. If you've made a dream, vision, or goals board, as they call them, maybe you've made yours, done yours a few years back, you might want to go back to it because I am sure that you will find encouragement. Maybe one, by having realized that maybe one or two have now been fulfilled, or two, if all are still unfinished, they might give you an impetus towards a renewed vision, resilience now, and creativity beyond this pandemic. You may also want to recalibrate your dreams if they don't motivate you now. If they are failing to motivate you now, even as maybe as you read them, it's time to recalibrate them. Let's have a look at this passion scale by John Maxwell and see how our dreams are fueling our passion. Begin reading from the bottom and rate yourself as we go along or as you go along. So have a look at this and rate yourself. I'm going to give you a few seconds to do it. Right. So how is your vision or dream fueling your passion? Let's go to my third tip on how to revisit our dreams. Reflect on your God-given shape. Reflect on your God-given shape. God knows the very reason why He created us, and for that matter, He is the ultimate one who could truly say at the end of things for us, well done, well done. This point is most important because people usually equate success with wealth. Well, I believe that this pandemic has made a very good point against this mindset. It's only God who could truly define success because it is He who exactly knows the purpose for which we were created. The Bible in Mark chapter 8 makes a very good case against thinking of success mainly in terms of amassing material wealth. It says, "What good would it do to get everything you want and lose you, the real you? What could you ever trade for your soul?" You see, there are things way higher in value than what this world could give. Never, ever measure your own life nor somebody else's life by how much fun, fame, and fortune they have right now. I believe with Pastor Rick Warren that God shaped us meaning He gave us unique spiritual gifts, heart, abilities, personality, and experiences that are unique for us. They make up who we are so we can live our purpose, make an impact in the world, or maybe even just in our community, and find fulfillment in life. So, ask the Lord while you reflect on your shape. What is your purpose for me? What is your goal in my life? Why, even in this pandemic, I keep on living. And I want to tell you this. Make this unique and God-given meaning and purpose for your life the basis for your dreams. It will surely help you find your new drive. You see, life and other included gifts are given by God for us to invest and grow them. If you want proof, read again the parable of the talents, and you will see that however tiny or enormous your talent is, one thing is asked of you: grow it. Grow what God has given you. So let me ask you, what do you have with you? What do you have together with your life? What do you have in your hands? Just as God asked Moses, what do you have in your hands? Align your dreams with how God made and gifted you. Let me conclude with these words. A man of dream and purpose will always be at an advantage, time of crisis or not. Because as Maxwell writes, purpose will cause us to pray more than the ordinary man, unite as people more than the ordinary man, risk more than the ordinary man, plan more than the ordinary man, observe more than the ordinary man, sacrifice more than the ordinary man, expect more than the ordinary man. Friends, brothers, business people, church people, whoever you are, I encourage you to revisit your dreams, and they will motivate you to start a new momentum. Thank you once again for this opportunity. I'm Miguel Pabilonia. Blessings.